What's up, everybody? Gonna dive into last night's show from the Godless 4 tour. Behemoth, Rotting Christ, and Immolation. Deicide is not allowed to play there because of some incidents from years ago. So it was like the Unholy Trinity version of the Godless 4. I'm going to see this tour again tomorrow, but it'll be Deicide, Rotting Christ, and Immolation, so a slightly different version. Overall, good show. For me, a mixed bag, but real fast, we'll just jump on in. If you've never been to the Palladium in Worcester, it's a cool venue, but it's one of those venues with, right, it's an older building, and the stage is under this, like, big open void, so sometimes some of the bands who don't have this, like, full production setup, their sound just kind of into the atmosphere, and, you know, smaller venues don't get that nearly as much. And so it's this trade-off of you want your bands to do successful. That was a horrible sentence. You want the bands to be successful, but you lose a little. So like Immolation, that I love seeing them live. They're usually really loud, forceful. Last night at the Palladium, that wasn't there. So for me, I was disappointed. The new songs sound great live, and they did like 3 or 4. But yeah, there just wasn't that punch that Immolation usually delivers. And it wasn't, the band's fault, but it's just kind of the atmosphere. So hopefully these mid-sized venues with these big hollow back ends will, I don't know, add some whatever to change that up, because it's not infrequent. Next up was Rotting Christ, and Rotting Christ is normally a band where I'm like, you've got to see them live. It's evil, it's rhythmic, there's chanting, there's, shredding. And last night had a different vibe. It was more of like party? It was a very fun set, but it was like, I don't even really know how to describe it. If black metal had this kind of like pop happy time bouncy appeal, that's what it felt like to me. And nothing against Rotting Christ, but it just, I want some meanness with my metal, and when I go to shows, I want it to be mean and forceful. And that was definitely not the case last night. So the other 2 times I've seen them, it was a lot more like in your face. But anyway, this might just be a me thing. Behemoth was up last, and they had a whole production team, so they sounded great. They played a good variety of songs. They covered Bathory, and that was probably my favorite part of the night. And it was a good show overall. Good set from Behemoth, but the newest kind of trend of like bands doing that synchronized like stage switching, and then they'll go up on the riser. Like I know it's part of the performance, but for me, there's a lot that gets lost in that. So again, it might just be a me preference thing, but all in all, the bands did good. The crowd loved it. I think it was sold out or nearly sold out, and it's always a good sign. We need this stuff to stay alive and thriving. So I'm gonna catch most of the bands again on Sunday the 3rd, which is tomorrow. Links to the footage below as usual, and yeah, it's so cool to see these like big evil things doing well. I know that comes with some trade-offs, which some, I guess, purists, maybe even a little bit of, myself, there's things that are missing for us. There's people in the crowd that normally, or years prior, you probably wouldn't have seen, and so they have a different way of interacting with the rest of the crowd, which can be a little bit disruptive. Like last night, but all in all, it is good that metal is alive and thriving and doing well. So check the stuff out, support the bands, support the scene. Always love to hear opinions on what I'm saying or just about shows in general, so feel free to comment if you like. And yeah, until next time, which will be like 2 days. Bye bye.